right, as promised earlier on, definitely time to roll. And of course, my guest is here, and she is Legislator Judy Pareno from Kenya. She represents Kenya, that is, at the East African Legislative Assembly. We're here to understand indeed what's going on. But of course, let's look also at some of the achievements that have been achieved, if any, in the sessions that have been happening here in Rwanda. So, Honorable Judy, welcome to One on One.
Yeah, thank you.
Very quickly, today there seems to have been too much drama, because from what we're seeing, from the reports we have had, this drama seems not to be ending anytime soon. What's really happening?
I will thank you so much for calling me in to be here with you today. And I would want to say that it is not really too much drama. It's just parliamentary business.
It's parliamentary business. This is how business happens in Parliament.
Sometimes it calls upon people to act in a certain way. And I want to say that it's not really been just drama. We've been doing a lot of committee work. We normally in the morning hours we have committee work, and we have plenaries 3 times a week. That is Tuesday, Wednesday and Thursday in the afternoon. So it is, you're only seeing the drama in the plenaries, but you're not seeing the activity, which has not really been drama in the committee work. So personally, I've sat in the legal team committee, sitting, we did our report, and we also had agriculture, which I was chairing on behalf of our chair. And we've done, and our reports were ready. The only thing is that we were not able now to table the reports in the House.
We've not been able to table the report. Yes. And is there anything going on? Because what we've had, even yesterday from my guest who was here, she was saying that, for the past 1 week, there's been actually literally nothing that has happened. There seems to be no progress going on in the House.
That is not true.
All that is going on is just the speaker issue. Whether she should stay or leave. This is what members seem to be talking about.
I've not heard about the speaker's issue. I've been here from first day and up to today. I'm still there. And I want to say it is not proper or right to say that we've not been working.
So you're trying to say that Honorable Susan lied to us here yesterday?
I've just told you that we've been doing committee work.
Okay.
But it is a plenary work that has been affected. I have told you that I've been sitting in my committees. I've not boycotted, and I've not seen any members boycotting any committee work. It is from that committee work that work is generated for the plenaries. So it is the plenaries that have been affected. But committee work on a daily basis has been going on.
So what impact does this have? If plenary work is being affected, how is it affecting the business of the House and the integration process?
For example, I had 2 reports personally on behalf of the Committee of Agriculture, which I was chairing this week. I was not able to table the report on water catchment. I was not also able yesterday to be able to read the report on the cooperative societies bill. So of course it has affected my work and the work of every other member, because this is a lot of input. To have a report, it's a lot of input to have a bill coming for second reading, and we're not able to do the second reading and the third reading. So it has affected, but it will not be right to say that we didn't do any work.
Because the statements that were being made here is that you and other members, all the EALA members, seem to be cheating the East African member, the population, because even with all this, with the delays of even tabling these matters, the payment is still being made. And at the end of the day, you seem to not have much going on in terms of what needs to be done, and you still get the other side of the bargain. So how do you explain that?
Okay, it is unfortunate that the plenaries have been affected. But that is not to say that we are cheating anybody, because it is also parliamentary business to do just the business we've been doing. When you find that probably things are not going on well,
yes,
it is parliamentary for you to address them.
Yes.
You don't move on with a crisis. You have to try and address them. One of the ways we have addressed is for us to instead of moving the motions that are on table, we actually adjourn and seek to address the crisis that we have. Let me ask you, when you see you have a crisis, do you say I have to continue first with business, or do I have to deal with the crisis? So you first have to come and address a problem you have to be able to continue.
But are we really,
so for me,
yes,
it is not also the speaker's, this week has not been really the speaker's issue. This week has been about a misconduct of a member.
This is Honorable Banji.
And for us, it is gross misconduct if the allegations are proved. I'm a lawyer by profession. I don't normally want to say I have, as of now, I have total proof. But I have a prima facie case because all the commissioners who are with her today reported in the House. In fact, they said, if you're saying that we do not have evidence, at least today we can report verbatim to this House what happened. And today they reported. And it is so sad if that is what happened.
Honorable Banji was supposed to be here today.
Yes.
Her chair is there.
Yes.
Her water is here. Her microphone is on.
Yes.
But she was not able to appear. We're still hoping that she might be able to come and, of course, even shed more light on this whole matter.
Yes.
But allow me to look at this issue that seems to be a sort of disrespectful nature of things happening at the House. And maybe you can help me interpret what that means.
Yes.
Today the Speaker called for an adjournment, 15 minutes, and says, members, we are adjourning for this period of time. But the members just deliberately decide to ignore what she says and continue chanting that you will still find us in here. How then do we have business going on smoothly with such a divided House?
There's a problem because, like today, when the Speaker ruled that we break for 15 minutes, normally when you say we break for 15 minutes and you make a ruling, when you make a certain ruling and members stand up like 15 of them, you're supposed to listen to them. But unfortunately, when these members stood up and said count so that's parliamentary business, the Speaker just walked away. And she went in and we stayed and waited. By the way, it was not really a big issue because the Speaker can also rule and she has a right to rule. We waited, she came in and we proceeded. So unfortunately, now when we now came to try and proceed, there was still a hitch on quorum. But I'm sure she had joined the House up to 2:30 tomorrow.
Yes.
So to me, the way to address our problems is just about the rules. I am sure you're aware that yesterday I moved a motion for purposes of resuming a debate on our rules. The way forward on when it comes to this House is by us having we have rules, yes, but we have, like any other rules, you need to keep changing and amending them to suit your circumstances. We are not now changing just now. We started on those rules from last year.
And these rules are aimed at what? What exactly do you want to achieve from this rule? Because there are those who are arguing and saying there is a rush now and a great interest from the team that wants the Speaker out to really have these rules in place with the hope that now they can use this to kick her out and make it easy for her to be removed from office. We started
rules long time ago. I'm in the legal committee, legal and privileges committee of the House. We started on these rules long time ago. We did a lot of engagement. We did a lot of meetings. We reported to the committee. Until now, 26th March of this year is when we decided to bring it, when it was ready to be brought before the House. Then we had adjourned. And the Speaker had promised that she would bring them back within a month. It was never brought until now. That is 6 months down the line. So the rules are not here because we are trying to rush because of any reason to remove anybody or because of addressing the particular issues we have. Right, the rules have been there, the amendments have been there, and it is only a matter of the House now passing the amendments. They were already done last year.
Okay.
So we are not rushing because of anything. We are rushing because it is our right to do our rules. It is provided for. It is parliamentary business, and we are doing it for the sake of prosperity of an institution and not because of an individual.
All right. So looking at all these issues that are going on today, you as a representative of Kenya, where do you stand in all this debate of whether the Speaker is abusing office, whether the Speaker is appropriately handling businesses as she's supposed to do? Because these are the bones of contention. Where do you stand?
I've normally said I stand for the truth.
What is the truth?
I stand for our rules.
Okay.
Our rules say if you are unhappy with the way the Speaker is conducting her business and you want to impeach her, you have a right to impeach her. But there are procedures to be followed on impeachment. You file your motion, you give notice, it goes for investigation. After investigation, it is reported to the House. So I stand by the rules. I told you, I am a lawyer. I cannot go against the provisions of the law. So to me, if the law will demand that she leaves, if the majority take the day, that is what the law says, and that is what democracy is all about. So it is about us doing what we are supposed to do within our rules.
And so why exactly do you why are you really pushing for her impeachment? What is it? What is it?
I have not personally pushed.
But you are among the members who would want
we are
her to be
among
impeached.
the members
Yes.
who would want the truth to come out.
The truth is impeachment. Let's
Not
put
the
it
truth is
there.
not impeachment.
What
the
is
truth
the truth then?
Setting the allegations and proving those allegations that actually she's unable to do ABCD, and we move on.
But you put the allegations on the table when you already have your certain proofs, from the lawyer's perspective.
Allegations are allegations until you prove them. You cannot say it is when it is alleged you're not convicted. So to me, I stand by the rules of this house on how we should conduct our business. If she's found to be guilty of what people are accusing her, then she should just go home.
What are they accusing her of?
If she's not, then it is the house to decide.
So
what democracy
is it? Yes.
demands that everybody be heard. Democracy demands that the majority have their say. If the majority are saying that she should go, let it be.
With an aim of hearing from different voices, I've had Honorable Zain here. Yesterday I had Honorable Susan. But now it's also good to hear from your side of the story. What are these allegations?
Most of the allegations are just about abuse of office and general misconduct, because sometimes what I have personally seen is that there's now a conflict between the commission and the speaker. So you end up going and asking the commission whether, like today, there was no sitting of the commission because they are not agreeing on how to discipline this member of the commission. So you see, if this was a team that would agree, we would not have had to have the motion that was there. But they could not even agree. And we don't have a report. Yet they were all together in Brussels. I didn't go to Brussels. I'm not a chair of anything. I'm just a member of committees. They went there. This happened there. The speaker should have come and addressed it. But as she ruled the other day, is that she has in fact today she said the report is almost ready, and it was a commission that was not there to handle it. So it should have been addressed. Before even by the time we were coming to sit, it should have been addressed.
But initially there was the first plan of impeaching her, which never succeeded because members from Tanzania withdrew their signatures during this search for signatures, following the procedures of impeachment, and that didn't succeed. How then do you think that this next push is going to succeed?
Which next push?
The push that you've said of seeking for the truth in terms of laying bare the allegations.
It has told, because we have not, people are now confusing two things.
Okay.
We have not in this session discussed the impeachment of the speaker. We have not touched on the speaker. We in fact, it is a new thing now. It is about a commissioner and the conduct of an individual in the house. So let us not confuse the
which is tied. But there are those who are saying that they are related because they feel that this commissioner is on the side of the speaker, and therefore punishing her is part of this divide and rule thing that some people are alleging that she's using, and therefore punishing her is becoming very difficult, or calling for her punishment becoming difficult. How do we explain that? How do we make people not confuse things?
People should not confuse. We never discussed the issue of the speaker. Even today, we were in chamber up to now. I've just come from chamber. That is why we are late. We have not touched on anything to do with the impeachment of the speaker. This particular one was on this particular member. In fact, the only other thing that now we touched was the amendment of the rules, which I moved to say that we should do our rules because we have a lot of pending issues. Like for me, the urgent matter that should follow, because also it is urgent to handle an indiscipline issue.
Exactly.
To me, it is also urgent because this is a house of integrity and we must uphold the integrity of this house. To me, the next thing would have been the rules, and actually we passed a motion by majority, a very big majority, that the rules are urgent because by December, the term of the commission is expiring. So when are we going to elect the next? Yet the rules do not provide for how to elect the commissioners. So that is an urgency, That is why we want the rules to be done. So we've been able. That is the only other business that that now came in that we handled. But initially we had reports and everything else. But the only other issue that we have handled, separate from that one of the speaker, which we have not handled during this sitting, is that one of discipline of our members.
Is it true that among these new rules that your team is pushing for includes how to make it easy? In some quarters, this is how they're interpreting it. How to make it easy to make because you've said there's sort of abuse of office by the current speaker. These are the allegations that are being popped out in this new set of rules. there are those who are saying that there's a plan to reduce the number of signatures per country from I think from 5 to 2 now. They're saying that now only 2 signatures from each country should be able to be enough to put out a speaker through a censure motion. Is this part of this?
I am not aware about that because first of all, we have not started working on the rules. It's only yesterday that I proposed that we bring back the motion because it was already, by the way, in those rules, we already tabled them in Parliament on 26th of March. So they have been there and there's no provision to that effect. But that does not stop members from proposing. Do you want to gag members not to propose whatever they feel is the right way for us to proceed? To me, I think members should be free because we can make our rules, we can amend, we can even revoke them, and it is upon us members to decide on the kind of rules we want for smooth running of the assembly. Look at today. We just adjourned right now because there was no representation from the Republic of Tanzania. Because shortly, just before you vote, somebody walks away. Is that what we want for East Africa?
Then how do you explain this? Because you just said earlier on that this is a honorable house, a house of dignity. Then how does the population out there watching or seeing or hearing the news from these sessions look at you honorably, looking at this kind of behavior?
To me, it is about an individual and how we are different. We came from different backgrounds. I am not saying that those who walked away are also of any bad background, but we all have different ways of appreciating things. Maybe that was the way of them also expressing themselves. And in Parliament, all these things are allowed because you can walk away, you can boycott, you can talk, but those are allowed as ways of expressing yourself. Maybe that was their way of expressing themselves. And you cannot tell people not to express themselves. They have a right.
Let's look at the worst case scenarios then. If
and this is not the first Parliament, let me tell you.
Indeed.
You've seen Parliament, you've seen people boycott session. You've even seen others grab that mess.
Yes.
If that is what it calls for members to do the right thing. So it is parliamentary business to even boycott sessions.
So should people just take these as normal? This is normal. This is how they behave. This is them. The MPs are. That's their behavior. This is what you want to tell us, that this is how they should look at you?
That is not always. If it is every day affair to walk away and then boycott, and then it will not look nice. But when you have an issue that is so pertinent, it is upon you as a member to employ every parliamentary tactic to ensure that you address this issue. So to me, I would not really want to see that we are not doing plenaries. I would want us to move forward, and I'm sure within no time we'll be able. We are honorable members. This is a house that has very intelligent people from different backgrounds, and I believe it will be sorted out. And today, by the way, the motion was for purposes of withdrawing Mheshimiwa Shairo's from the commission. That is not a very big issue. If that is what it will take to have a house working smoothly, to me, what we should look at is that no single individual is important than this community.
So indeed,
not anybody.
I'll pick from that statement. So then, what will it take to have matters of business operate smoothly in EALA?
It is simply debates, because we are in the house to debate these issues. We are in the house to resolve. A resolution will come. That is how Parliament works.
From January, this whole bickering seems to have been there. We are almost ending the year. And so if you say it is just from debate, we seem not to see an end anytime closer. I have a listener who's listening and says, I have attended one session and don't expect anything positive to come out this time. Okay? Anyone and everyone is on his or her own. So how do you explain to them that an end is in sight to this whole, wrangles, if I can say?
You see, the problem we have is that we must appreciate that, like now, Mheshimiwa Shairo's has not been an issue. The issue we had before was the speaker and people wanting to impeach her. This particular one was another one just cropped from nowhere. So we cannot keep saying it was continuously bickering. And you noted that even when we were bickering on the speaker issue, we were still doing our business. We never stalled the house. On rotation, we only walked away one day, and we had our motion to sail through, and we continued with the rotation and continued with work. So it is not right to say that the bickering has been from, yes, there could have been bickering from as early as January, but work has been going on. It is only now when this issue of Mheshimiwa Shairos came in and it was not handled, that members felt they need to express themselves in a certain way for it to be handled. And I think they have expressed themselves, and I think in some way the House will come out with a resolution.
Yeah. And so maybe we'd look at the alternatives, because at the end of the day, there are some who are saying that members are now just bringing personal and petty, in quotes, issues into the flow of the House. When yesterday, some sessions, in a session, a member, and this is Honorable Zain, according to my guest yesterday, is that business was not going to go on until Honorable Banji is punished, or something is done to discipline her. And so they feel that these are just personal matters with an aim of frustrating the office of the Speaker and to make matters difficult for her to operate.
For me, as far as I'm concerned, it is not personal, because I don't know whether any East African would want to see the image that people saw or alleged to have happened in Brussels. I don't think any East African would want to see that a honorable member representing them goes to do what is alleged to have happened. And if we don't take action on that, what impunity are we encouraging in this House? In fact, what we are doing now is to end. If you had today's submissions from members, they are saying no more impunity in this House. We must respect East Africans. We must show integrity to East Africans. We must do business for East Africans. And we are only, this is just part of some way of, when you see a stumbling block, you must handle it for you to be able to go. So to me, I think we are in the right direction. There will be a little friction here and there. We have wasted a little time here and there, but it is worth sanitizing this House and making it work. Because if it means we have to discipline a member for us to have a good image, that is why discipline it's put in the rules in the first place. If it was not important to this community, it would not be there. But it is important even in your own house to have order and discipline. So all we are doing is to try and have order and discipline. And my way, just like I said yesterday when I was doing these rules, is for us to have very tight rules without loopholes on how we conduct ourselves. Because rules are there, yes, they're not so bad, but we need to look at them properly and ensure that we stop impunity.
So timelines. Let's talk of timelines as we close. When do you think we will see an end to this? And of course, what are the scenarios, either positive or negative? If things are not sorted out as soon as possible, what are the worst case scenarios?
To me, I think I cannot make a conclusion as to what I expect, because it is upon the members. In fact, today when we left the House, there was a ballot box there for people to vote on this discipline case. So I cannot tell what would have gone into that ballot box and how many people would have voted for it against it. But I want to say that a majority rose and supported this motion. So it is upon now the end result for us to see how many have voted for and how many have voted against, because that is still parliamentary. So I expect we were actually at the end of it today. The motion went on and we were actually at voting stage where now the results would have been counted and would have known. So to me, I expect that tomorrow we will resume and we'll have a way forward either to vote or not to vote. Then thereafter, I still had the issue of the rules. It was in the order paper, and the cooperative society bill was actually on the order paper. So I expect that we should immediately be able to dispose of this motion and move on to the rules. Because we said yesterday, let us do rules as a matter of priority, because the commission's term is ending. And we cannot wait until it ends and then we say, we don't have duly elected commissioners. That will be another crisis. So to me, I think we are moving in the right direction. And there is nothing really that does not have an end. It is our wish as members of assembly that we put an end to any arising issues. It is normal to have in a society such arising issues. We should handle them and move on.
My sources tell me that even President Museveni has personally called different members from each member state to look for a resolution to some of the stalemates that are affecting the EALA House. We have also heard from the Secretary General yesterday. He added his voice in all this and called on members to focus more on what they need to be doing in the House. Do you feel then that we are moving towards a crisis where either a leadership crisis or a crisis in terms of the image of the House?
I think this cannot really be said that is something that is not manageable. I mean, we are there to manage ourselves. I will not go back to Kenya and say that I was unable to perform. If it means moving the rules, I will do it. If it means moving any motion to serve this house, I will do it. But I'll not say that I have not been able to perform my duties to ensure that this house runs properly. The house is run by us through the rules, the speaker, and everybody else. So it is not a situation that we can say that we cannot handle. Yeah.
And when will we handle it?
I am sure with using the right procedures, like the motions we are doing today, the rules we are doing, we'll be able to perform. Like for me, the moment we have finished with these rules, we should also be able to now follow these rules and implement them, so that at the end of the day, if it is indiscipline again, we have something to handle it. Because like now, the indiscipline that occurred outside this jurisdiction, and the rules were not even very explicit on all sorts of.
So what are you recommending? What are you proposing in these rules?
At the moment, we have proposed a lot of things in terms of how to rearrange even the rules, a lot of things in shape.
Just some takeaways, just the key among these rules. What are those major rules that you are recommending in this proposal?
Like now, a lot of things have actually come up. Because like yesterday when we now came and we had this Brussels thing, I looked at the rules and I found that there is really no express provision for somebody who misbehaves outside the house. So to me, I recommend that we must have a provision that will cater for people who are on official function, not anybody, because you could be misbehaving elsewhere. Yes. But when you're on official function in a delegation of the house, we should be able to provide for some of those things. Those are some of the things that you see when you look at the rules. And then we have a lot of other just a lot of procedural things on how reports are tabled, and how they are debated. It is just about procedure, nothing magical about it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're confident that at the end of the 2 weeks session in Kigali, we will have a story to take back home?
You see, we only have 2 more days
left.
We are ending the day after tomorrow, and then we continue with committee work, and then wait for the plenary in Nairobi. So I am just worried about the time. We have probably not used the plenaries properly. We have used the sessions of the committees properly. So depending on what time is left, which is about 2 or so days, we'll be able to see how we try to conclude, so that by the time we leave, we should have left with discipline issues. We should even leave with probably having started on the rules, and life goes on.
All right.
Yeah.
Sawa basi. Thank you so much for your time, Legislator Judy Pareno, for your time. Thank you so much for shedding some light on some of the issues that we've been talking about right here. Definitely closely monitoring the sessions right here happening in Kigali, plus more. And of course, we want to thank you, the listener who has been listening to us right here. The show is one-on-one, and the hashtag to use to keep the conversation going is hashtag 101RW. My name is Eugene Anangwe, signing off. Goodbye for now.